Welcome to KISS, Keep It Safe Smithtown. On today's show, we are going to talk about fall prevention for senior citizens. Falls are the leading cause of unintentional injury and deaths for senior citizens in New York State. Half of the senior citizen population are hospitalized due to a fall and end up in a nursing home or rehabilitation center. Older adults falling each year results in direct medical costs of nearly $30 billion. Some of the major consequences of falls among older adults are hip fractures, brain injuries, decline in functional abilities, and reductions in social and physical activities. Although the burden of falls among older adults is well documented, research suggests that falls and fall injuries are also common among middle-aged adults. According to the U.S. Bureau of Census, between 2012 and 2015, the United States will experience considerable growth in its older population. In 2050, the population aged 65 and over is projected to be 83.7 million, almost double its population of 43.1 million in 2012. According to the Center for Disease Control, 16% of older adults in U.S. have fallen at least one time in the past 3 months. 31% of older adults in the U.S. sustained an injury that resulted in a visit to a primary care provider. In 2013, 17% of Suffolk County ambulance calls were due to a fall-related injury.
Those that are at risk for falling are, those that are usually falling, have a history or a past of falling. Also those that are on certain medications that they do not know what the side effects are. Those that have limited ranges of motion, usually it's the elderly. Those who usually walk with canes or any apparatuses that they may be able to trip over. Those that don't wear their hearing aids, those that don't visit their eye doctor. There's a whole load of people that fall under that category. Some of the things that people can do to prevent from falling is 1, visit their eye doctor. Make sure their vision is corrected. 2, wear their hearing aids. 3, don't wear any loose clothing when walking. 3, make sure that the lighting in their homes are a soft light, not a dim light. In their homes themselves, you may want to watch the rugs or loose banisters or any rough edges. Make sure that they have a phone number of someone that they can call in case of an emergency. Most of the times, there are specific exercises that people can do to prevent from falling. One is their gait or their balance. They need to do certain exercises to be able to balance themselves. As we get older, we do lose their balance due to sight, their hearing, or actual loss of range of motion. Other exercises they can do is some strength exercising. As we get older, our muscles get weak. So I always say use some kind of weight-bearing exercises to strengthen their legs or strengthen their arms. Other exercises is some kind of an aerobic activity so they can keep their aerobic capacity up. Walking, a little bit of speed walking, a little treadmill. Anything, even in a class, a dance class can also help them. Some of the causes is, 1 is their medication. People don't, and I appreciate that, they respect the doctors, they don't ask what are the side effects of medication. Some of the side effects can be dizziness, can cause them vertigo. So they need to know that well in advance. Other things is they need to get their eyesights checked. Sometimes we need to strengthen glasses. They just need to get it checked. Hearing aids. A lot of seniors don't like wearing their hearing aids, but it's very important to know what's coming at them and to hear cars coming, or just they need to hear what's going on around them. Some of our seniors may need canes or walkers, and they may feel funny using them, but it's important to have stability as they walk. Most people are vulnerable for falling is when they are afraid. When you're afraid, you lose all your ability your gait is lost, your balance is lost, your fear, so you tend to fall more often. Also, if you're not paying attention, if you're not aware of your surroundings, that's another reason why most of them can fall as well. Consequences of people falling is they can break their bones, they can break their hip, their leg, their shoulders, their wrist, which can cause them to be in a hospital for a long length of time, and nobody wants to do that. So to prevent injury, head injury, also to prevent any injury, you want to prevent them from falling. People need to have a support group. You know, as we get older, our children move away. So it's important to have friends, group of friends, have phone numbers, know who you can contact and call. Make sure other people know what medications you're on, or if there's an illness that you have, make sure other people know so you could contact them just in case you have fallen and you really can't get up. Also, another suggestion is making sure that you have friends that can drive you to the hospital or the doctor if needed. My name is Dr. Olivia Valley. I see some familiar faces here. Those of you who don't know me, I'm in practice in Smithtown on Edgewood Avenue. I'm a chiropractor. I'm a health and wellness coach, but most importantly, I'm a mother in training for 20 years. So I'm still trying to get that really under my belt there. Today we're going to talk about fall prevention, okay? Most of the questions that people ask are, who are usually the ones that fall? Unfortunately, anybody that has no ranges of motion, mostly as seniors, okay, no offense, but as we get older, we do tend to fall more often. Reason being is our hearing, our sights, our limited ranges of motion. We don't have the ability to walk fast anymore, and we think we do. We tend to not wear our hearing aids. How many of us do that? Or we don't get our eyes checked. Right? I know. Well, you're pointing at your wife. Don't blame her. We don't get our eyes checked, and we need to revise our glasses. Or we don't use our canes or walking apparatuses correctly, or we don't use them at all. Most of us fall in our homes because, one, we've been living in the same house since we had our children, maybe 2 floors, and nothing's changed. But now we have the inability to walk those flights of steps up and down, or that banister that you've been trying to fix for so many years, asking your husband to fix, is never fixed, and now you need it fixed. Or what about those rugs on the floor that tend to slip when we walk? So we're going to go over a couple of things that we can do to prevent falling. First of all, raising your hands. How many of us are on medication?
What was that?
How many of us are on medication? Okay. I'm going to say, out of everyone's raising their hands. How many of you have asked your doctor, what are the side effects of the medication? The side effects of your medication. A lot of the side effects of your medication causes you to lose your balance. Vertigo, correct? Most of us don't want to ask our doctors any questions because you think they're too busy. You're there. You need to know exactly what your medication does to you. And one step further, you need to tell someone other than yourself that you're on medication and what the side effects are. Who do I mean? Our children, and if they're too far, maybe your neighbor or a friend, and I had a suggestion, a friend with a car that can drive you just in case you do fall. So know the side effects of your medication. Another thing that you can prevent from falling is learn how to use your canes or your walkers. It's important to know how to use them. Most people really do trip over their walking apparatuses. And the reason is because they go ahead and buy it off the market, go to CVS and buy one of those, and you really don't know the height the correct height, or the correct way of using it. Which side to use of the cane when you're walking. It's important to know. Another thing you need to know is you need to eat. How many of us get up in the morning and run out of the house? Well, run is a word, but get out of the house and forget to eat. A lot of people do. When you're not properly fed or you don't have good nutrition, you tend to get weak. You tend to get foggy, and you do tend to fall and faint. Another thing is dehydration. How much water do you drink?
How much hydration?
How much water do you drink?
Well, don't you consider coffee, tea?
Absolutely no.
No?
Coffee and tea dehydrate you. It has caffeine. Even the ones that are decaffeinated, I know you're going to say that, have a little bit of caffeine in it. It's going to dehydrate you. So you're spending more time in the bathroom. So every cup of coffee you drink, every cup of tea you drink, iced tea, you need to replace it with water. When you're dehydrated, you're going to faint. Yes?
It can affect your kidneys.
And
I don't drink a lot of water.
okay.
You know, I have maybe 2 cups of coffee a day.
And that's it.
No, no. I drink water when I get thirsty. Well, especially if you eat food that makes you thirsty, I'll drink more water.
Okay, this is just a suggestion. You need to drink more water, especially when you're taking medication.
Yeah, water doesn't send you to the bathroom?
Okay, so we could visit the bathroom once in a while throughout the day. It's not a sin. You need to hydrate yourself, because that will cause you to get weak, to faint, to fall. I'm telling you, hydration is very important. It's on your list. I gave you your list. We talked about medication. Eyesight, the inability to see edges. You know, when we don't check our eyes, we tend to walk into things and fall. It's important to check your eyes. So once a year, you need to go get your eyes checked.
Question.
Yes.
When you get your eyes, pills for your eyes. I have macular degeneration.
Okay.
Do the pills help you that they put on the market, the vitamins, when you're old? One doctor told me nothing will help you.
Okay. With macular.
Macular degeneration.
Okay, that is a degeneration which will continue going on. Some medication will help, some medication won't. Everyone is an individual. If you find
Not
vitamins?
Vitamins.
Okay, vitamins are good. Again, everyone is an individual. Some vitamins do help.
They told me it doesn't help at your age.
Okay, I don't like that term, at your age. I don't, because I have to tell you, people know that I go to the gym 2 hours a day. I train with people that are 60, 70 years old. They're at the gym. They're at that age. The age has nothing to do with it. Everybody's an individual. No, I'm talking about with the vitamins. Vitamins can help you. If you find that they're not helping you, then don't take them. But if you find that they do helping you, then continue taking them. Everybody's an individual. I like natural things better than taking medication, but certain medications are needed, and you can't help but take them.
How would you know if they're helping you? Do you have to stop taking them for a month?
Well, first of all, before you're taking it, you have a problem. When you start taking it, your problem gets less. So that's a way of knowing.
On it for years, the same one.
The vitamins?
Yeah.
Certain vitamins? Well, you can try getting off of them for a month,
You're alive.
and then going back on. Okay, going back to what we can do to prevent falling. Let's look at your homes. Look around your homes. Do you have a loose step or a loose board?
We were talking about it. I have 12 steps going up. The one in the middle, every time I hit it, creaks.
Okay, so don't you think it's okay?
Who do you call?
Who do you call? You call a handyman. You call the handyman. You look in the phone book. I don't even know if there's a phone book available anymore. You Google, ask your kids, a carpenter, ask the neighbor. That you need to do that.
Built in 57.
You need to do any rickety steps. How about you've been, like I said, you've been living in the home for so many years. When you
That
go
step
out,
is moving.
you
It's
got to
moving.
fix it.
I'm afraid I'm gonna kill myself.
God forbid, that's never going to happen. Then who's going to sit in front of me and talk to me while I'm doing my seminar? What about when you walk outside of your home? Do you remember those steps, beautiful marble steps, and you have no banisters on no handrails on either side? We need handrails. It's okay. Put a handrail on the outside of your house so you could get up those steps. Women, I'm gonna target women here because I know I do that, and I know I've learned from my mother, who is 70, and she just won't stop doing it. My mother's very young. She goes to the gym too, by the way. She takes all 10 packages in her hand. She's gonna make one trip. All 10 packages, and it has to go up the steps. Do you think maybe she's gonna fall? I'd fall.
You fell.
She doesn't, I mean, I would fall, but she is a little bit older. She's got arthritis. Her range of motion isn't the way it used to be, so she's going to fall. So it's okay to make a couple of trips. Or you know what? Sometimes you see some kids in the street, give them a couple of dollars, let them help you. It's okay. It's okay to do that. I remember we used to do that when we were young back in Brooklyn. We could do that. Another thing that we tend to do, and I'm talking from experience because my mom does this all the time. My mom likes to change her curtains, her blinds. She likes to clean her blinds. I have never cleaned a blind in my life. My mom cleans hers all the time. So what does she do? She gets up on a step stool. Not advisable.
I went backwards on it.
Not advisable you could fall, especially that there's no railing to hold on. And the higher you go, the less balance, you get a little bit dizzy. The less balance you have, and you're going to tend to fall. Okay? So let's not use those step stools. Maybe ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. Okay? It really is. Okay, lighting in the house. You can't be anywhere where there's a dim light. You need to have a soft, bright light, soft light. Change your light bulbs constantly. If the light bulb goes out, you need to change it, because if you can't see it, you're going to trip over and you're going to fall. You're going to miss that step, and you're going to fall. We talked about loose clothing. We all like flowy skirts, beautiful. But you know what? If this gets caught, and you don't have your balance to make sure that you're going to fall, that you're not going to fall, you're going to fall. Okay? These also get caught up in your canes, in your walkers. So try to wear tighter clothing. I'm looking around. Most of us are wearing correct shoes, but not, I run a practice. From 10 to 1, all my seniors come in, and I love it. That's the best time of my day. I see some hot-looking women coming in, high heels. I mean, I can't even wear high heels all the time, but they're wearing high heels. They don't have that range of motion, so they do have comfortable, pretty-looking shoes that are lower with rubber soles, okay? Because we don't want to slip and fall and break a knee, break a hip, okay? I know we live in homes that are 2 floors, 3 floors, and like we said, we go up and down all the time. It's hard to leave a family home, but it's not safe. It took me years to explain to my mother that she had to leave the family home. But she wasn't able to go up and down those steps anymore. You know, she had bilateral knee surgery. One of them didn't come out so well. She's got arthritis. Yes, she takes care of herself. She's thin. She eats well. She drinks. She hydrates herself. She goes to the gym, but she's still getting a little bit older. So what she does, we had to move her into a 1-floor home, and she's so much happier. She gets to do more. She feels more in control. She's not afraid of falling, which is another reason I explained before why people fall. We're afraid. We see it's windy out. We're not stable. We go out and we're fearful. We're afraid to cross the street. That's when you need to get someone to be with you, either being a friend, a neighbor, your family, your spouse. If you're not secure with going outside due to the weather and you need to go out, either have somebody drive you or have somebody be with you. Okay? Moving. We all want to move really fast. I sometimes see people going in and out of my office so fast, they get out of a chair so fast. And you know what happens? You ever get up really fast and you get dizzy and you fall back down? That's going to happen. So take your time. What are you rushing? What are you rushing to? Take your time, get up, walk slowly, and know where you're going. Don't start talking aimlessly and just not know your environment, not know what's going on. Be aware of what's around you. Make sure you hear and see what's around you. Okay, another thing, do all of us have a phone? I'm sure we all have phones. Make sure it's always near you. Make sure that there's a number you could contact quickly if you fall to the ground. Some of us, I don't see anyone have one of those alerts. I know most, you said I can't get my mom to wear one either. She carries her phone, but her phone is in her pocketbook in the other room. So if she falls, how is she going to get to it? She's going to crawl to it? It's hard. So, it's not so bad to wear that alert. But if you, yes?
The medical alert is only usually good when you're home, around houses. But when you go out, it doesn't work.
There's another one that.
When they first came out, that was one of the problems. But now they do have one that when you're out there, you just press a button and they do come to you. But okay, you don't want to wear an alert, then you know what? You better carry your phone near you. It's easier for a man to clip it to his pants, but if we women are going to keep it in our pocketbooks, you got to have the pocketbook with you all the time. You know what? Stick it in your bra.
Why not?
Put it in your bra. Keep your phone with you, and make sure you have a phone number available to who you can call. Somebody reliable, not your children that live 2 towns over, someone really close. The furniture that you sit in, all right, make sure that they have an armrest. You get up, you'll be sitting in that chair forever if you can't get yourself up. Make sure things are placed at waist level. If you have it too high, you know what you're going to want to do? You're going to want to stay on your tippy toes. You're going to unconsciously pull a chair over and want to step on it. It'll take you 2 hours to get up on the chair, and once you're up there, you can't get that back down. I'm not making fun, but it's true. I'm talking from experience. I watched my mother. She could stay on a chair for a half hour wondering how she's going to get down. Okay, and it's not safe. She could fall. Why don't I want you to fall? How many of us have fallen just in the past year? Wow.
Ice. Black ice.
Okay, black ice. Black ice is something we sometimes don't see. So you really need to be conscious of when you're going out, if you should go out. A lot of our groceries can be delivered to us nowadays. So it's important to do that. We don't want you to fall for many reasons. Ever visit a hospital when you were young, you were in and out? Do you see that when you go to the hospital when you're older, you spend more time there? And then when you're there, you end up leaving with something else. You don't want to spend time in the hospital. You don't want to break anything. It's harder to heal when we're older. Okay, it really is. We don't want to break a hip. Once you break a hip, it's bad. You break a leg, things don't come back as easily. Okay, so we don't want you to fall on your head, have internal bleeding. We don't want any of that to happen. So what can we do so we could get stronger and not fall? I just watched for a half hour some of you in there doing exercise. I love it. I love it. Do you know, when I first went into practice 25 years ago, I used to come here and do blood pressure screenings and do talks. They didn't have exercise classes here. The nutrition here, the food here is way better than it was 25 years ago. It's important to have a strong body. It's important to do exercises that keep your balance. Because as we get older, we tend to lose our balance more. Our gait tends to go swaying back and forth. And once you start swaying back and forth, you're going to fall. Yes?
They do have programs, so it's like the stepping on program.
That's
We learn to.
right. And so, but not everyone takes it. It's important to get your body stronger, to do exercises for balance, for gait, for strength. Muscle exercising is okay to do. You're not going to be Arnold Schwarzenegger at the end of the class, believe me. But you will be stronger. And while you walk, yes?
What about exercises like you have steps? If I walk 50 times up and down those steps,
Okay. You're going
is
to.
that exercise?
That's exercise. If you're going to make sure that there's a banister,
Yes.
you're going to make sure your wife knows you're doing something crazy like that. You have to let somebody know. But yes, is that exercise?
I'm too tired to do other exercise after running up and down.
Okay. Now, you may want to question why you're always so tired. You said tired a couple of times during this class. But if you want to exercise up and down those steps, that's okay. But make sure you know that he's doing this, and make sure.
They gave him a liquid drink to drink, he doesn't drink it.
Because I get it from the girls like me,
Okay.
the doctor's office. I get these, what is these?
Yeah, like an insure.
20 grams of sugar, and I have diabetes.
Okay.
Doesn't have diabetes, come on.
Okay.
It's a whole
I know.
pack of pie with cinnamon, but I will have one.
They're trying to give you a protein drink to strengthen your muscles.
Every one of them has 20 grams of sugar.
I agree with him with the sugar, but you have to give and take. If you're not going to eat your protein, you're going to have to drink it.
I eat everything.
Okay, but it's important to keep your strength up, your water hydration up.
A lot of water.
You had a question, Hiran? Yes.
And, one of those things that you grab, they can't, if it's too high, you know.
Oh, a grabber. That's a good thing too. There's a lot of things out there. I'm losing the crowd. I'm losing the crowd. How long are you two married? There's never such a thing.
91, she's 88.
Okay, so you guys have been married, what, 50 years?
40.
Oh, nice. And this is a second marriage. Good. You wanted to do it twice. God bless you both.
21 years before that.
Wow. Wow. Well, I'm glad that you two have each other, even though you both are bickering. You have each other. I just want to let you know that it's important. The most important thing that I want you to leave this seminar with, everything I talked about is in this little fall prevention. It's important that you don't fall. It's important that you prevent yourself from falling, but you're the only one that can do it. You can't rely on other people. You need to be aware of where you are in life and what your abilities are, what medications you're taking, why you're always tired, why aren't you drinking. It's okay to go to the bathroom. It's okay to walk your steps. It's okay. You just need to be aware because we don't want you falling. I appreciate everyone coming. Thank you.
I was coming out of the bathroom, which is 6 steps up from the living room, wherever it was. And at the top of the steps, that's all I remember. Then I'm down the 6 steps. And I had gone down the steps, bump, 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 bump. And there's the wrought iron stuff to hold on the left side. And I hurt my shoulder, bump, 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 bump. And then I hurt my head. Oh, I'm sorry. Hurt my head. But a couple of days later, I went to physical therapy, and the guy looked at my head. He said, see the doctor. So I did, and it turns out I have a subdural hematoma, which was blood, but not in the brain, but right next to it. So I do have a brain. And then I had to have 3 MRIs, not individual, one at a time. And because I went to the neurologist, and she prescribed an MRI, and I still have to go again. There's that next month, and they'll take the MRI. But I was very lucky, and I managed to get up. Ordinarily, I would just back into the steps and boost my way up, but the thought never occurred to me. So I worked my way over to the door, grabbed on a knob, and I'm here to tell the tale.
We were visiting my daughter-in-law, and they have no railing on the steps going out. And it had snowed a few days before, and we walked out, and we walked down the steps. My eyesight is not that good. I can't see how many steps there are. And what happened was, I took a wrong step, and I went forward, and I had my wife's arm, and she went down with me, both of us. We weren't hurt, but it was scary. Another time, and I stepped on a ladder, a small ladder, and I went backwards and banged my head on the floor. And I was nervous about it because I had bled a little bit. I went to the emergency room. They took x-rays or whatever they had to do, and nothing. I learned to be careful. The seminar helped me a little.
Here are some steps you can take to reduce your risk of falling. You should consult with your doctor before taking any of these measures. People who have fallen in the last 12 months are at risk of falling again because they are scared from the first fall, or they might have some mental health issues such as forgetfulness or early signs of dementia. Medications might have side effects such as affecting sight or balance, or may make them dizzy or lightheaded. Seniors need an advocate such as a family member or friend to monitor the medication side effects. Have your doctor review your medications every 6 months. Eat healthy meals regularly. If you wait too long to eat, your blood sugar levels could drop, causing dizziness. Make sure to wear your glasses, hearing aids, and that your home is well lit. The Center for Disease Control has created a toolkit to aid in fall prevention called STEADY, Stopping Elderly Deaths and Injuries. It involves medication management, identifying hazards in the home such as tripping on extension cords, having a clear path, proper lighting in the home, making sure that seniors are wearing their glasses and hearing aids. Medication management. Ask your doctor to review the risks and benefits of your current medications. Certain medications, such as psychoactive drugs and sedatives, greatly increase the risk of falling, including over-the-counter medications such as Tylenol PM and Benadryl. Increase your vitamin D dosage. A current list of all medications and any medical conditions for first responders. If you are a caretaker or guardian of a senior citizen that lives alone, there are 3 questions that you should ask them. Have you fallen in the past year? Do you feel unsteady when standing or walking? Do you worry about falling? If your senior answers yes to any of these key screening questions, they are considered at increased risk of falling. Further assessment is recommended. If you follow these tips, you can reduce your risk of falling. For KISS, I'm Garrett Robinson. Thanks for watching, and remember, keep it safe, Smithtown.